Biden administration announced that the Transportation Security Administration will no longer enforce the federal mandate requiring masks in all U.S. airports and on-board aircraft.
This is the captain speaking. As of right now, all flights in JetBlue, we don't require a mask, so if you guys want to take it out, you won't know.
Oh my god, it's like the best thing ever! Oh my god. You can throw them and wave them in the air like you just don't care.
Glory, glory, hallelujah, I'm free, I'm free, I'm free at last, and you can thank the great state of Florida for a judge in Tampa, where I live right now, where I just brought my newborn baby home to, for liberating the last dystopian, Faucian area of this nation. It was sickening to me that we all still had to mask and live by these ridiculous rules up in the sky, 30,000 feet up in the air. There was this little dysphoria, dystopian, Fauciite universe that still existed. Lift up your mask over your nose. Pull it up over your nose. In between the bites of peanuts, pull up your mask over your nose. Are you sick of getting that kind of a response from stewardesses? Yes, I am too. And it was finished yesterday. The sweet, delicious freedom emanating from Florida. A judge here in Tampa, Trump appointed, 35 years old, named Catherine Mizelle, struck down Joe Biden's unconstitutional and illegal mask mandate, saying that the CDC overstepped her and their bounds. CDC Director Walensky wanting to push the mask mandate ever further. 2 weeks to slow the spread turns into 2 years to crush freedom and capitalism and to institute communism. They won't get their way, and we are rejoicing today. My heart is full, and we are brimming at the seams with joy in the Johnson household. Juliet Johnson, a teeny little baby, brought home. She's 7 pounds, and she is thriving. Mommy and baby are happy. She likes to sleep a lot. She likes to poop, and she likes to eat. And that's all that Juliet does, with one special exception. Today, she started to hold her head up just a little bit. She started to stretch her arms. She started to stretch her legs. My baby is 4 days old. 4 days old. She hasn't been on this earth for a week. And yet she is finding her own legs, finding her own freedom, stretching her own arms out, and embracing what life has to offer, because it is innate inside of all of us. The spark of liberty, the spark of freedom burns inside of every one of us. From the day you were born, it was put there by your Creator. You are supposed to live free and be happy. And even my little 4-day-old downstairs, she is exploring. She is stretching out for more liberty. She is finding her legs and her hands and her thumb, and she's starting to suck her thumb. It's amazing to watch. And I have a 2-year-old as well. You guys want to know what it's really like to see exploration? Try having a 2-year-old, man. Every single cupboard, every single day in our household is ripped clean. She found the doggy door out in the detached garage. Now she's in our garages day and night. Eloise, my 2-year-old, is into everything, freedom and liberty. It is innate inside of all of us. It is how we were stitched together. We are not supposed to be ruled over and lorded over by a master and slave relationship. We have natural rights, and they are beautiful, and it's something that we must treasure in this country. It's the way that we are put together by our makers. I am particularly emotional this morning because I am really, really happy. I'm a happy father of a newborn baby, and I am a happy American to bring my baby home into a country that seems to be getting more free, not less, as the mask mandates were struck down. Let's read the article from the New York Post. The Biden administration on Monday suspended the enforcement of its mask mandates on airports, planes, and other travel. A judge said the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention overstepped their authority, saying that it was illegal. Judge Mizell in Florida said that the CDC had overstepped their bounds and saying that the order is no longer in effect. The Biden administration is flabbergasted by this and has no recourse. They're not, I don't think they're even fighting it. TSA said instantly that they will not be enforcing mask mandates on flights, and they'll be ditching their mandates. Alaska Airlines, United Airlines, Delta Airlines, Southwest, JetBlue, all announced that they will be ditching their mask requirement. American Airlines has been added to that list, and the videos from in-flight, man, I wish I was flying at this time. It would have been historic. The videos in flight of the passengers and the crew members and the pilots all together rejoicing that the mask mandate has been collapsed by this freedom-loving, patriotic judge who clerked for Clarence Thomas, because of course she did. Judge Mizell clerked for Clarence Thomas. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a thing of beauty to see. Check out some of these incredible videos of flights midair announcing they no longer have a tyrannical, authoritarian mask mandate.
And on board the aircraft. If you would like to continue wearing your mask, please feel free to do so. We do have extras if you would like one. First time in 2 years. Oh my God! We'll be your flight later. We're at 1:35-minute flight up to Atlanta. From 3 other business by your side. Some of my dear friends. Together, we are here for your comfort and safety. So in just a moment, we will be going over the safety features.
You can see the people cheering, the stewardess clearly thrilled. She is clearly so very happy. Stewardess is singing and dancing up and down the aisle. Stewardess, steward-I don't know what a man stewardess, how do you say that? I don't exactly know what the terminology is. The steward-Is, the stewardesses, singing and dancing in the aisles. Can you imagine the hell that they had to live through over the past 2 years? And it makes no sense because I can leave Florida where there is legitimately no mask mandates anywhere in this state. There are no mask mandates in this state. You can go anywhere and do anything you want. I went to Trader Joe's the other day, and guess what? There was a dude in a hazmat suit shopping around, buying some bananas. This dude was wearing a yellow hazmat suit with one of those big filtration systems in the front. Did they kick him out of Trader Joe's? Did anyone surround him and mock him? No, man. People let him buy his bananas. It's not a big deal. You do you. You protect you. It's ultimately up to you, and that's the story of America. Your life and your protection and how you live it is up to you. And you have no right to dictate how I live my life or how I protect my children. That's my right. You do you, man. See, that's the thing, is I fly from Florida to Nashville a lot. Both red states, both awesome states with great governors. Bill Lee in Nashville, a fantastic governor there. This is a state that has no mask mandates, flying to a state that has no mask mandates, yet I have to latch a mask to my face and get screamed at midair as I'm flying to those states. In between those states, it makes no sense. It's insanity. And so it's a wonderful thing that that is now gone. The videos bring such joy to us on this show. You saw the airline attendants dancing and singing in the aisles, and now the passengers cheering on even more flights as they are announced the mandates collapsing. Check it out.
Our Delta hub, it says masks now optional for employees, customers, following White House.
But if people haven't had shots, did you ever?
Man, it's a thing of beauty to see. The judge wrote in her ruling, because our system does not permit agencies to act unlawfully, even in the pursuit of desirable ends, the court declares it unlawful to and vacates the mask mandate. The White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said the ruling was disappointing, but she said the administration had not made up their mind about whether to appeal. The CDC continues recommending wearing a mask on public transit, Psaki said. This came after the afternoon, so the Department of Homeland Security, who would be implementing the change, and the CDC are reviewing the decision, and of course the Department of Justice would like to make any determinations about the litigation. In her 59-page ruling, Mazel said that the only remedy was to vacate the rule entirely because it was impossible to end it solely on the two plaintiffs, writing that a limited remedy would be no remedy at all. The judge then remanded the matter to the CDC for further proceedings. The chief executive officer of all major airlines called on the chief executive officers of all major airlines, called on the Biden administration last month to ditch the mask mandate because the requirement did not reflect the current environment. Here's what they said in a very rare moment of CEO corporate bravery. It makes no sense that people are still required to wear masks on airplanes, yet are allowed to congregate in crowded restaurants, schools, sporting events without masks, despite none of these venues having the protective air filtrations that aircrafts do. Yeah, that's a really good point, airline CEOs. Why didn't you say that a year ago or 2 years ago? Why didn't you say that? Why would you put your passengers and your employees through hell on earth? And now what you're seeing with the airlines is that their profits are declining. People are getting sick of this, and now the dollar is what's at stake. Their bottom line is what's at stake, and so they're going to change the rules. I think, and I'm very, very excited about this, that this is the last time that this happens in American history. I really do. I think this moment is over. They've lost. We won. Freedom won, and liberty won, and that's because this country has woven into its very core the freedom and liberty and rights to prosperity and happiness and property and to live your life. It's the great American exception, ladies and gentlemen. The exception of our country is that we don't want government control. We do not want someone to tell us what to do. The general story of humanity throughout history is master and slave relationships. A king, an oligarch, a literal master enslaved you or brought your people onto their fiefdom, and they just controlled your life from cradle to grave. That is how life worked for the vast majority of human history. America was the exception to that, the great American exception, where we said we can rule ourselves. And if you want to go out to the hills of Pennsylvania and live like an Amish person, well, then you don't even have to get taxed at the same rate. We have so many exceptions in this country because we're a massive nation. This nation is the size of a continent. And it would be impossible to shove down a one-size-fits-all system on every single unique and fascinating geological and cultural place in America. That's part of the strength of America, is that we decide upon the principles that we all agree with. And ultimately, up at the very tippy top of that is to be left the hell alone. To be able to do what you wish to do. The dude in the hazmat suit at Trader Joe's is my dude. He's my dude. He wants to live his life. I say, go for it. Is he going to wear a hazmat suit during his daughter's birthday party? Is he going to wear a hazmat suit at the movie theater watching the newest Batman movie? I don't care. It doesn't affect me, man. So you do you, man. Buy your bananas. Enjoy your life. That's what I say. But see, the problem is that the reverse often doesn't work. So the reverse, the authoritarian liberal fascism that controls this nation, often wants to project and force down the throats of regular Americans who are just minding their own damn business, their own diktats. They do this in the name of public health. They do this in the name of power. That's what it's always. They call it different things: national security, public health. It's all a misnomer for power. They wish to have power over you. They're disgusted that America is 50 different laboratories of democracy with 50,000 different cultures inside each laboratory. Got to tell you, Tampa's very different than Fort Myer down the road, and very different than Miami on the other side of the state. Even like a state like Florida has 23 million people in it, and all those people live in very different communities. Okay? My neighborhood is different than your neighborhood. That's okay. And the way that America works is if you don't like it, you can change it. You just move right along. You go to the place that makes you happy. That is why it says, woven into the very core and foundation of this country, the pursuit of happiness. Life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. The pursuit of my happiness is to not wear a damn mask. That's me pursuing my happiness, and to not mask my 2-year-old. I would rather drive a Chevy Suburban built in 1971 with a donut on it and a broken radiator 4,000 miles to Alaska than mask my 2-year-old. It won't be happening. It's not going to happen. My 2-year-old's not going to get masked. That's the reality. So none of my children will be masked or forced to be masked by the government. And so you're never going to get that opportunity with me. It's not going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. That's me choosing happiness for my family. It's my right, and it's my natural right. It was given to me by God. And just like my new little baby daughter was given to us by God, she has the right to freedom and to breathe fresh, clean, delicious air just like the rest of us. And so we are encouraged and excited in the Johnson household. And we thank all of you for your prayers. This is our first big show back since we came home from the hospital, and we are thrilled at this news. Uber and Amtrak scrap mask requirements. Firms are the latest to dispense with face coverings after federal judge ruled the policy was unlawful. This is huge. Uber, which is, of course, the rideshare app company and the largest in the world, has said in a statement this morning that as of April 19th, 2022, riders and drivers will not be required to wear masks when using Uber. However, the CDC still recommends wearing a mask if you want to. So whatever, dude, you do you. And if you don't want to ride, you don't have to ride. If you don't believe that you are in control of your own health and your own security, well, then you just better not leave your house, because we're not going to take that on. That's not our responsibility. We're a ride-sharing company, dude. Like, people hop on our app and make a little extra cash after coming home from work. Or college students drive Uber in order to pay for their college. Uber's, I think, a good company that provides a good service. I use Ubers a lot. And ladies and gentlemen, like, ultimately, the Uber driver, that's not the person you want to be in charge of your health. And you certainly don't want a rideshare company in charge of your health either. If you've ever been on an Amtrak train, don't want those people in charge of your health either. In fact, if you knew a little bit about the CDC and you knew how the bureaucracy runs in this country and what a third world cesspool Washington, D.C. actually is, you wouldn't want these people near your doctor or your personal health decisions, let me tell you. And I think a lot of that will be exposed when Republicans win back the House in 2022. Remember, many people still feel safer wearing masks because of personal or family health situations, so be respectful to their preferences. Okay. Done. This is how it was always supposed to be. Be respectful to their preferences. Let people do what they want to do. You definitely know that there was a lady in the grocery store that was wearing plastic gloves and a mask before COVID. Before COVID ever happened, you would see people wearing masks. This is not a big deal. I have never once in my life seen a video of any of those people getting harassed or threatened or pushed over or come after. We would never, ever incentivize or instigate that. We would only ever tell people, live the way you want to. If you want to wear masks for the rest of your damn life, go for it. Wear it inside your house. You do you. I'm not going to bother you. You don't bother me. That's the other side of the coin. I am not responsible for your health. You are responsible for your health. So stop interfering in my life and my choices, and I'll promise you that I have no desire to interfere in your sad, cretinous little lives and your choices. You do your own crazy self, all right? Amtrak said in a statement that masks are welcome and remain important to protect against COVID-19. Anyone needing or choosing to wear a mask is encouraged to do so, but they won't be enforcing a mask mandate. Hallelujah. That is Amtrak. Again, that is like essentially federally funded train transportation. If you ride Amtrak, I've ridden a ton of Amtraks, you'll realize that the federal government just should not be funding anything. But nonetheless, it's federally funded train transportation is what Amtrak is, and they are canceling their mask mandate. That means this thing is officially done. The White House is saying they give up. The White House is saying it's all over. And quite frankly, they can just blame it on a federal judge that Trump appointed and be done with it. It's actually a very interesting conversation I've been having, that this is probably a great result for the Biden administration. They aren't the ones who have to take the mask. It's a Trump judge, and the people who are freaking out on the left, and there are many of them, they can just say, it's the Trump judge. We blame the Trump judge. The Easter Bunny is who the White House should be blaming for probably the most embarrassing photo op in White House history. That's right. The Easter Bunny yesterday, the White House egg roll was yesterday at the White House. If you haven't ever been to the White House egg roll or seen it on TV, they have an opportunity for a bunch of little kids who are kids of staffers or members of Congress or friends of the White House or donors. All these little kids get to go in and they get to take a spoon and like push an Easter egg, across the White House lawn. It's cute. It's totally, nice little tradition, right? Nothing wrong with it. We've been there before as a family, and we are, nothing wrong with it. I would love to bring my children to White House Easter egg roll sometime in the near future with a different administration. The problem at this event was that there's always a big stuffed bunny, big creepy bunny outfit. And this stuffed bunny was going around dragging Joe Biden to and fro because Joe Biden wasn't supposed to be answering questions, so this bunny is essentially running America. Not only that, Joe Biden is being talked down to by his wife and diminished and demuned and insulted by his own wife. Jill Biden telling Joe Biden to shut up, wave, sit down, speak, treating him like a dog. It's brutal, and we have some clips for you. First, the bunny clip. The bunny clip. Joe Biden trying to talk to the press, and the White House bunny comes over and says, "You're not allowed to do that." The bunny is running America, not Joe Biden. President Easter Bunny, go.
Pakistan should not, and Afghanistan should be people.
Oh, the Easter Bunny, Mr. President.
Happy President!
So President Easter Bunny is moving around like a slab of moldy beef and rotten potatoes. Joe Biden in the White House telling him, no, you're not allowed to answer questions on Afghanistan and Pakistan. Joe Biden was starting to answer questions from the press. Well, that can't be allowed. And so the bunny stepped in. Who's inside the bunny suit? I think that's the most important question in America. Who is inside of that bunny suit? Was it Jen Psaki? You can tell us. Was it Jen Psaki? The biggest mystery in America. The bunny was on the south lawn of the White House for the Easter egg roll when Joe Biden wandered off and started talking to people, including members of the press. The president started commenting on Afghanistan and Pakistan at the Easter egg event. The costumed bunny staffer rushed up and started waving furiously to interrupt him. The costumed bunny figure redirected the president to the Easter egg roll event. People are speculating who is inside the bunny suit. Various Biden press staffers are inside. Jen Psaki's little gremlins running around trying to keep Joe on a leash. But they are not the only one trying to keep Joe Biden on a leash. Holy Moses. Jill Biden was there as well, and Jill Biden was snapping and vicious. Man, this lady is a nasty woman in the terminology that Donald Trump would use. Jill Biden snapping and lashing out at Joe Biden during the event. It's really embarrassing. Check out these series of clips.
Okay, so I'm going to quickly read Brown Bear, so you're all not soaking wet.
And they're not going to let me read it all.
I'll let you, here, you can start us off.
All right.
Okay, just stay.
She's telling me just sit, don't move. She's a teacher.
I'm the teacher, you know.
Happy Easter. All right.
Wait.
Having to be reminded to wave by his wife, being told by his wife to sit down and shut up, and that he won't be allowed to read the books. Can the President of the United States read? Is the President of the United States a bunny? These are important and profound questions that we must answer in our times. Biden just being moved around like a slab of moldy, rotted, old, syphilitic beef, just being thrown from place to place and told what to do. What an embarrassment. Do they really think that this charade could go on and on and on, and that they would not be found out, that we will not understand exactly the full and total and complete mental collapse of this presidency? Many already have. Many people watching know that Joe Biden is utterly collapsing. The regime is collapsing. His family is collapsing. And even Hunter Biden was creepily there at the White House Easter egg roll. There are some creepy photos of Hunter Biden. This guy should not be within 500 yards of children. He should have an ankle monitor on, and maybe Joe Biden too. We'll see. But what happens now and what happens next is going to be really, really important for the future of this country. The Biden crimes are collapsing in around them. I think that Joe Biden is collapsing mentally along with them. And Joe Biden told Barack Obama that he wants to run again in 2024. So joy! I Like, take it to the bank. Watermark this video, stamp it, and clip it right here. Here we go. Benny endorses Joe Biden 2024. Do it. I want you to do it. I want you to run in 2024. Please, 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 for the love of this nation, run, Joe. We want to see it. I want to see exactly how dark this place, how dark can this administration get? Joe Biden, do it. You are in real time destroying your party and collapsing the future of anyone wanting to run as a Democrat. It will be a biblical red wave in 2022, and the more you're around, the better it is for us. So please, Joe, run. I'm telling you, from my overflowing heart right now, run for president in 2024. Bring it on. Also, Hillary Clinton, bring it on. Big John Durham news this weekend. John Durham says that the CIA found that the Trump-Russia plot was user-created. This is huge from the New York Post. John Durham asserted in a court filing that the CIA concluded that the data that the Clinton campaign lawyer Michael Sussman was bringing to federal law enforcement on Donald Trump was not technically plausible and was user-created. In the filing, Durham responded to the objections from Sussman's defense regarding that evidence could be admissible in Sussman's trial, which is scheduled to begin next month. Sussman is accused of lying to the FBI by saying that he is not attending a meeting on behalf of a particular client when he was actually presenting information on behalf of Hillary Clinton and charging the campaign with a technology executive with whom he worked. So John Durham essentially saying that even the CIA and federal law enforcement knew from the start that this hoax was a hoax. Fugazi. It wasn't real. It was all made up to slime and to slander and to destroy Donald Trump. And they brought it to federal law enforcement in order to lie to you, the press, the public, and the American people. Here is the news clip of this coverage. Very, very devastating for the Hillary Clinton campaign.
Are exactly a month away from a highly anticipated federal trial that could finally offer some definitive answers to this simple question. What role, if any, did the 2016 Hillary Clinton campaign have in trying to tie Donald Trump to Russian interests? Special counsel John Durham, who will lead the prosecution of former Clinton campaign lawyer Michael Sussman, claims in a new court filing that part of the data Sussman was peddling to the government in 2016 and 2017 was, quote, not technically plausible, did not withstand technical scrutiny, contained gaps, conflicted with itself, and was user-created and not machine/tool generated. Now, you'll recall Sussman is charged with lying to the FBI for denying he worked for the campaign while offering up data he said covertly tied then-candidate Trump to a Kremlin-linked Alpha Bank. Durham claims a government agency, sources tell Fox News it's the CIA, had examined other data provided by Sussman back in 2017 and found it was not accurate. However, the special counsel has made it clear his office has not reached a definitive conclusion in this regard.
So obviously the crux of this case is that Michael Sussman was a lawyer acting on behalf of Hillary Clinton. He was going to federal law enforcement attempting to give them false information to frame Donald Trump. This is, of course, illegal. He lied about who he was working for. And if he had said that I am working for the person who is running against Donald Trump, her name's Hillary Clinton, you might just know her, well, then they would not have taken that evidence and they would have said, get the hell out of here, presumably. The indictment alleges that Sussman lied by falsely stating that to the general counsel that he was not providing the allegations to the FBI on behalf of any client when he was actually charging the Clinton campaign for this sleazy and, utterly criminal behavior. Let's just call it what it is. In his filing on Friday, Durham says the government expects to adduce evidence at trial that will reflect that the FBI and the CIA had concluded that the Russia Bank 1 allegations were untrue and unsupported. For example, while the FBI did not reach an ultimate conclusion regarding the data's accuracy or whether it might have been whole or in part genuine, spoofed, altered, or fabricated, Agency 2, the CIA, concluded in early 2017 that the Russia Bank data and the Russian phone provider was not technically plausible and did not withstand technical scrutiny, contained gaps, conflicted with itself, and was user-created, meaning that they created this information to slime Donald Trump. It's fake. It's not real. However, Durham states that the special counsel's office has not reached a definitive conclusion. In this regard, Durham argued that the separate and apart from whether the data was actually or provided reliable is a motive for Sussman to lie, meaning Michael Sussman knew this information was bunk. He knew this was fake. It was false information that he was bringing into the CIA and the FBI. They were attempting to frame Donald Trump and to get them to open an investigation into Donald Trump to hurt his chances at being elected. Meanwhile, Durham outlines the connection between Sussman and the now infamous and discredited anti-Trump dossier, which contained allegations of purported coordination between Trump and the Russian government. The unverified dossier was authored by ex-British spy Christopher Steele and commissioned by opposing research firm Fusion GPS. And the law firm, Perkins Coie, is the firm that the Democratic National Committee and the Clinton campaign funded the Trump dossier through. The Durham filing Friday revealed that Sussman met in the summer of 2016 with Steele and Perkins Coie offices where he told Steele about the Alpha Bank allegations. So essentially, all of the witches' kitchen colluders are getting together and conspiring together, and John Durham is slowly but surely pulling that thread and pulling the entire diseased temple down upon their heads. Praise the Lord. Let it fall, let it collapse, and let us have some justice in this country, please. Durham in his filing states that Sussman represented and worked for the Clinton campaign in connection with his broader opposition research efforts, and he took steps to integrate the Alpha Bank allegations, which we know are the fake, untrue allegations that the CIA said a user created, into the opposition research efforts. These people deserve to have this diseased temple brought down on their heads. I repeat, it is a diseased temple. They think that the federal law enforcement and the federal government works on their behalf, that the Justice Department is their Justice Department. Many times over, you heard the people that Trump was firing, Lisa Page, for instance, going on MSNBC and whining that this was her Justice Department, meaning much like anyone who screams about liberal Twitter being their communication platform or the mask mandate being their mandate, they view it through the vector of power. They wish to control you. They wish to control the very justice in our country, but justice in its purest sense is blind. That's why justice holds the scales and wears the blindfold, because you cannot have a justice system that is so corrupted. You cannot have a country that is so disparate in its allegiances to the very reason that it was founded, for people to live free lives, for people to live unmolested by the government, and for people to have a rebirth of freedom, whether it be 30,000 feet up in the air or whether it be in a courtroom with John Durham. That is the sweet freedom that we came home to from the hospital this weekend, and we are just so thankful once again, ladies and gentlemen, for your prayers and for the Johnson family, mother and baby, doing great. We are living in a country that is ever changing, but I think changing for the good. All America has ever needed is a small group of patriots to band together, to be enthusiastic, and to save this place. That's what we are. That's what this show is about. That's what we will do. And +1 with Juliet Johnson. We have a movement on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. It is a movement. It is a movement of optimism. It is a movement of happiness. It is a movement of joy. And it is a movement of us saving this place. Let's go out and save America. We were born free men and women, and we intend to stay that way. And we do that through having our priorities right. God, family, country. And a family is a really big one for me today. Thank you for watching. My name is Benny Johnson. This is The Benny Show.